109. However, on abstract thinking, linguistic thinking, linguistic mathematical problems, um, I scored, and logic, I scored well above average, well above average. And on emotional intelligence tests, I tend to score quite high. However, I scored quite low on the speed of my thinking, processing speed, and quite low on working memory, and controversially low on spatial skills, which is odd because when I took my first IQ test, I remember the administrator gave me a puzzle and she said this is the hardest one that we have as part of the IQ test. I remember I solved it in a couple of seconds, but somehow those results went mysteriously missing. You know, nobody even had information of me even taking the test, so I wasn't too happy about that. Um, but yeah, being different, I mean, can really rock. I mean, once in a while you get people coming up to you saying, "Oh my God, you're so smart," or "Oh my God, that is so cool," or "Oh my God, I would have never thought of that." You get life experiences that for a fact that most people will never experience. It's just not within their frame of mind to enter such life experiences. On the other side of the coin, and probably most of the time, which is really sucks, is you get a lot of people shaking their heads saying, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? That's weird, you know? And some of those times usually occur, simply because you yourself, know the science behind something, and at the same time, you know just how absolutely brilliant the end result will be, but you just don't have the time or the care to explain it to people, for them to actually fully appreciate what you're doing. And sometimes there's details within there that the average person who doesn't have an interest in that just won't understand, you know. So it's so in that way, it's totally sucks. And yeah, being different in our society can be extremely hard. One thing my IQ test never measured for is wisdom, creativity, imagination, um, comic humor. There's comedians that are absolutely brilliant. Doesn't mean they'll score any higher on a psychometric intelligence test, but their capacity to creatively put together material in such a funny and profound manner, leads them to be hugely successful. Nobody can tell me that those particular comedians are not, geniuses. Um, so, I mean, imagination eventually surpasses overall intelligence because the point of it is that if you can't imagine it, you simply cannot act on it. You can be an absolutely brilliant mathematician, but if you can't imagine how to use those same numbers to save lives, well, then your success is limited. You know, um, so I mean that's the whole paradigm of it, and and at the same time you begin to realize that 99.9% of people aren't interested in what you're doing, and you find that people are just interested in the end result, not so much the process of what you're doing, which is kind of disheartening, you know. Mm. So, um, so, anyways, I always like to define cool as refining yourself to an art, meaning taking the best of yourself and refining that to an art, an absolute art. And I believe that's what cool is, or being cool, whatever, you know. At the same time, um, see, I'm such a slow thinker. I'm a slow thinker, but at the same time, I'm a deep thinker, and I have a deep acuteness for social justice. Um, oh, um, but I found primarily in my life that what people really seem to attach to the most is when a person out of genuine heart and some type of love, genuinely wants to help people, and that person uses whatever resources, whether it's their own labor in terms of volunteering or this type of thing, or using their own expertise to try to help other, experts or people that excel at what they do, but in that capacity where they fail to have those skill sets. When you help people, I mean, the rewards just go on and on and on, and people seem to really love that. It's this huge, deep appreciation for it. I mean, ultimately, the world will judge me for better or worse, but it's my true friends, that would rather love me than judge me, and that speaks highly on them. As And I think that is the difference between true friends versus, you know, the the rest of society and the public, as they remain, somewhat unknowing. In high school, I noticed that the people that hated me the most uh, were most likely the same people that knew me the least. And of course, the assumptions were became more and more grossly erroneous. So, I mean, there's so much to say on the topic, and I've been trying to speak as quickly as I could because I know this is running like 7.5 minutes into it. Uh, you know, my belief in God is probably the strongest foundation, for me to get over my personal social injustices, because I revere God for the life He's given me, and I know that God, for whatever reason, loves humanity, the people of this planet. They're His children, and I can't appreciate that nearly to the same extent as a God, So, but doing kindness towards people at the same time is ultimately doing appeasing God and reciprocating. You know, it also helps me too when you know things that I don't like occur to me. Social injustices occur to me, and then I can say, well, okay, so God sees me as this big time sinner. You know, because a Christian's life is always an aspect of evolving to become more and more aspiring to be more godlike, even if the goal is unreachable. But it's like, okay, well, I probably deserve that for some type of sin I've committed in my life, so it makes things so much more easy to deal with, you know. And so yeah, but at the same time, I'll always have this disconnect from humanity and this social disconnect from people in general. There will always be those elements that I just cannot connect to people with, riddles that run through my mind that I just can't socially comprehend, like why so many people would rather, love to watch a hockey game and sit there and not be part of the game, but, rejoice as if they personally won the game, or, these type of what seem to be paradoxes in my own mind, you know, um, and things that people do, So, anyways, that's probably enough on that. I'm Darryl Learie, and here's the finger to all the evolutionists and sexologists, because my existence has survived through all your so-called theoretical mechanisms of evolution. I shouldn't exist, but I do. So take that and see you write a thesis on that. Okay, so one more thing. I may come off as the underdog, but I think a lot of people are the underdog in one capacity or another. But here's my little motto for all you underdogs out there. I may have lost this one, but you know what? It's not over till the fat lady steps on me. Ha. Here's another one for y'all. I may be the underdog, but it doesn't mean my bite won't hurt you. Later, homies.